Hello and welcome to episode number 10 of CrossFit Harrow's podcast. We are nearly at the final hurdle. Hopefully gym will be reopening in the next 2 weeks and we can all get a little bit of sanity back and the hands back on a barbell. I want to talk to you about something today with regards to every one of us having one thing in common. Every person in this world has this same thing in common. And it's not fitness, in case some of you are wondering. That fitness isn't for everyone. Although it should be, it isn't. So you might not be the smartest, you might not be the fastest in the gym or outside the gym, you might not be the strongest inside the gym or outside the gym. And you may not have had the best start of life or gone, best circumstances in your life, and for most of us that's pretty accurate, and I know personally for me 100% that they are. There's a few things in there that I can tick off. I'm definitely not the smartest, maybe the strongest, but who knows, I'm joking. No one gets the green light though through life. You don't get a pass and it's plain sailing. I personally have never come across someone who's been handed that card. If one of you has, or if you've come across someone, or that's you, I'd love to talk to you and know more about you and what that card looks like or that pass looks like. But I don't think it happens. So for most people, the above that I've just said is enough reason to never even try, which is actually quite sad. So the one thing that we all have, and every single person in this world has, is potential. Now, most of us look at people and assume that they are better, maybe smarter, or have something that we don't. And occasionally, that not very often, but that can be the times. That can happen at times. But most of the time, they're not smarter, they're not better. They don't have something that we have. And in most cases, the only thing, let's say, like they have that you maybe don't possess or not aware of yet, is an understanding that if they do the work, they're going to be better than they were yesterday. So building a better version of themselves every day, and the willingness to do the work, whether it's in their career, in the gym, outside the gym, whatever it is, they have that understanding. And that's, in many cases, they do the work day in, day out long enough to become very, very close to fulfilling their true potential, or even along the journey of unlocking their potential to allow them to open up in different avenues. Your outcomes in fitness or even in life, I would say, are and I saw this somewhere, are like a lagging or delayed measure of your habits. So a lot of people, if not everyone listening, will have financial goals, career goals, fitness goals. You want to make more money. You want to have a better, you might want a better job. Or it might even be to lose weight, but in reality, your current situation is a lagging measure of your habits. So for example, let's say financially, your bank account, that is a measure of your financial and spending habits. Your weight is a lagging measure of your eating habits. Your knowledge or lack of is a lagging measure of your self-development or learning habits. So in theory, what I'm getting at is that your habits, is what needs to change in order for you to achieve your end goal. And we tend to think that this needs to change. We tend to think that what needs to change is the money in the account or the gym or the number on the scale, but it's actually not. It's the habits that lead to those end stories or end successes. Now, however cliche it may be regarding creating a lifestyle around your wanted goal, it is true. And those habits that you do, and I've spoken about this before, I actually think in every episode I've spoken about daily actionable goals, they will lead you to unlock your full potential. Now, this was something that inspired me actually, and kind of made me think. I think I heard Gary Vaynerchuk say it, that anything that comes to you fast is a real problem. And something that blows my mind is why people want things so fast. And we've done a podcast about this before with regards to instant gratification. Getting something or somewhere fast doesn't create a habit, and that's why you always fall back, and then you just fall back down that hole, and then that mountain that you've got to climb or that hole you've got to get out of just becomes bigger. So I'm going to talk about a couple of experiences I had like with teaching. So for those of you that don't know, up until December this year, I used to teach 16 to 18-year-olds various different elements of sport, psychology, nutrition, how to test for fitness, etc. And a lot of those, throughout those 5 years, the most boyhood dreamed, let's say, is to become footballers. And the amount of kids I taught, where I taught, had the dream of becoming that professional footballer. But they were never able to unlock their potential because they wanted the 50 grand a week contract at like 16, 17. And going back to what I said earlier, with regards to the only thing that, they, as in others, have is the understanding of doing the work. So they weren't creating habits. They weren't understanding that the people that they see top end have created those habits. Those people top end that they, whether they see them as role models, public figures, whatever they see them as, they don't have that understanding that they've earned their stripes, they've done the work, they've created habits to create that lifestyle or to unlock their full potential. All they see, essentially, and this is, social media to blame as well, and this is like quite a lot of industries actually, and all they see now is like the cars, the houses and the fame. Like, in fact, the only time I've really watched TV, I just happened to have it on the background. I think I was watching a music channel, and it must have been MTV, and MTV Cribs come on. I think one of the footballers, I can't remember who it was on there and just like showing his house. I don't understand why that's important and why it needs to be revealed, but kids see this and they want that without having created the habits in order to do that. And like, we have a bit of a duty to, even the things that are going on in the world at the moment, like we have a duty to educate and inform people so that like these changes can happen, because otherwise we're going back round in a huge, huge circle. So that they don't understand that. They see the cars, the houses, the fame. They don't realise that, in order to create a lifestyle, you have to do those things and create habits. And they want as I said, they want that end result without earning their stripes. And it's the exact same in fitness. And I'm going to give you a bit more of a relative example for you guys listening, because most of you, with regards to nutrition, might have failed or tried something new, and kind of that's probably more relevant to you. Becoming physically fit, and as a result, aesthetically, you get the result of, if your nutrition is right, aesthetically, you get the result from it too. Your performance improves, and it kind of comes as a whole package. Now, in the heavily over-opinionated fitness industry, the last 10 weeks, actually we've been in quarantine for more than 10 weeks, 12 to 13, everyone who's had a passion for fitness has become a personal trainer online in the space of this time. But regardless whether I agree or disagree with their methods, there are a lot of people on these platforms who are, let's say, aesthetically in shape, regardless of how they've done it. That's beyond the point at the moment. My point I'm getting at is they've created that habit. It wasn't overnight. They didn't do a 6-week diet, which they might advertise. They didn't do, some of them might have taken a pill, let's say, but there isn't a magic pill. There isn't a magic M&M, or whatever that they've taken. They've created a habit over the last 3, 5, 10, 15, and some 20 years. Now, the concept behind the 30-day challenge or 6-week challenge, whatever you want, is actually creating a habit. But this gets lost on the marketing front because you see people who post pictures of weight loss, and the coaching element it doesn't even get mentioned. It's more of a case of do this for 30 days and this is what you'll look like. It doesn't work like that. People gain them. The people that you see that have these successes is because in that they've been coached and they're starting to develop and learn these habits, and they're exploring these habits. The goal of these challenges, as I said, is to create habits. And in my opinion, the rest of it, or anything more than that, is complete bullshit. Those 30 days, they're not going to change your life to some degree, but in others, they will, because actually that might be your turning point where you actually start to create these habits and these things click in your head, where we said before about they start to understand the things that they need to do, or the other people that we compare ourselves to. So yes, obviously there will be physiological changes in 30 days. But most of the time, they're not, for the bigger masses, they're not going to be sustainable because they're the masses that don't understand that their habits that they need to implement, it's not just a 30 day. So there's so many people that are doing, I'm doing 30-day this, I'm doing, 6-week this or 14-day. They're fine if you can learn from that and come away with it and go, actually, do you know what, I've developed these habits, I can now take that into whatever it is that I want to do. Essentially, they are just multiple coaching sessions. It's a daily coaching session if you're working with someone for 30 days or 28 days, whatever it is, that you're getting the right guidance, the right advice, and you are slowly starting to find things that work for you and things that don't. And that's what good coaching is, when you're having that person on your shoulder and holding you accountable to be able to do these things. And a good coach or a great coach will be able to help you identify your true potential without having to use those words, because the connection and the relationship that you two have and the way that they coach you will speak for itself. And that's how you find and unlock your own potential, because you realize those habits. So take a power clean, for example. You don't just walk into the gym and do it straight away. You listen, you fail, you try, you watch, you fail again, you try again, and you slowly start to learn some sort of mechanics. There's an understanding of it. You start to get it. The next day you come back and do it. You do it better. You might need a refresher, whatever it might be. But you start creating a habit of going to the gym. Training now is becoming part of your lifestyle, and over a period of months, you're coached to keep on improving on this movement. And it's the exact same. That's the biggest struggle with nutrition, is understanding that there's no such thing as an instant result. It is all to do with habits. If you eat a pizza, you do not put the weight on of the pizza straight away. Same as a beer or a G&T, whatever it is that you drink. That weight doesn't sit on you straight away. If you consistently do that, that's when you start to have that weight gain. So what makes you think that if you eat a fucking slice of watermelon, or a salad for your diet in one day, that you're going to lose that weight on that day? Like, come on, people, get with it. Let's try and get through this. So many of us will fail, and if you're not exactly where you want to be in terms of your nutrition or anything in life, it's because you think that if you're given it or someone tells you what to do, that you'll follow it. So with regard, I'll talk about back to the gym, but if you're talking about a diet, we often get, I'll speak for myself here, I often get, what do you eat? It doesn't matter what I eat, because if I told you what I ate, you're probably not going to eat it, because you wouldn't probably believe what I ate. It's coaching that person through understanding why that food's good for them, how much of that food they need, and then linking in with their lifestyle, because it supports the things that I do on a day-to-day basis. So don't think that if you're given something on paper to say you need to eat this and that for 7 to 14 days, 21 days, that it's going to change your life. Like, don't be stupid. It takes time. Again, going back to my point earlier, it's the understanding of doing the work and becoming better. Imagine doing an AMRAP of 30 minutes. What pace would you set on this? Like, if you think you're going out like a fucking roller coaster, you need to slow down. Like, slow and steady wins the race. You need to do small things every single day in order to get that result that you want, even with regards to nutrition. And I'm using this nutrition example because it's the most relative for most people in the gym. For me, nutrition is just as equal, maybe if not more important, than the fitness element, because fitness is actually easy. You just got to turn up, and it's an hour of your day. But nutrition is an ongoing thing that you have to do all the time. As in like a longer period of time. There's whatever's left of your day, 16, that depends on what time you get up in the morning. There's so much more of your day where you need to think about these things. So taking it back a little bit is these coaching, these nutrition plans or, these things that are told, exactly do this, do that. They may not be the right thing for you because you're not at the right point yet where you've understood the value of why it's important for you. Over this period, we actually have developed nutrition coaching plans that will be available to you all. Not diets, but coaching plans. Contact with a coach, education, and obviously more of this stuff will follow in due course. But start creating habits. Understand why you're doing things. Why is it supporting your goal? Start implementing it to your lifestyle. Is it supporting your lifestyle that you want to create, or whatever it might be? Daily habits, doing things on small doses and not the need for something so instant. Like, don't lose the art of patience. It is relative to success, yes, and this includes creating habits around the lifestyle you want to live, or even how you want it to, even how you want to feel. And it is to do with mindset. We don't have a good relationship with time. We're all, it's the world that we live in. Everything is an instant. Amazon next day delivery, Prime. You sign up for Prime, done. You won't spend $3.99 on a 2-day delivery, but if you spend another £50, you'll get it the next day, on free delivery. Like that's the relationship with time that we have. We're impatient, and because of that, we care too much about what other people think. Take a step back, understand why you're doing it, create habits, and be open to learning new things. We're here if you need We're here if you need our help. We are building this team to serve this community. So my final point is build habits, and you'll soon find or reap the rewards of those habits on a small basis. Enjoy.